loves. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about home parties, aka face-to-face parties. So we've been talking a lot here about Facebook parties and social media and how to engage in social media, but there are going to be times when you're going to either want to do a home party for yourself, or maybe you're going to have a hostess that would prefer for you to do a home party for her as well. So I wanted to do this video to kind of talk about what I've done at parties before so that you kind of have a roadmap of which way you want to go. So the first thing that I want to say is the beginning part is basically just like a birthday party. So whatever you would do in the beginning with a birthday party, that's kind of the mentality that you want to have. So you want to be sending out invitations in some way, whether that's making physical invitations and sticking them in the mail or giving them to your hostess to hand out to her friends, or if it's your party, you're going to hand them out to all of your friends. Whatever works for you. You can also do a Facebook event and people can RSVP on there, and then you can put up a few posts if you want. You can send out emails. You can have them RSVP the old-fashioned way to just be like, hey, give you a call, send you a text, email, whatever the case may be. You can send out a Google survey and do it that way. So whatever way you want to do it, you can totally do it that way, but make sure you actually do some sort of an invite so that people, so you know how many people are going to be coming to this particular party. And just like a regular party, you're going to want to make sure when the guests come to the door that you are there. Even if your hostess, you have a hostess and she's hosting the party, you want to make sure you are right there, introducing yourself, saying hello, and you know, you want to be personable. We've been talking about being personable. You want to be personable, and you want people to feel comfortable, because people are going to feel more comfortable buying from you if they feel comfortable around you. So we want to make sure we do that. A couple of things that I do for the guests to look at when they come into the house and we're waiting for everybody to arrive. So I actually have a smart television in my house, and I went on Google, I believe it's Google Slides. If you just Google PowerPoint, whatever theirs is actually called will come up, and I essentially put a bunch of slides together. So I did a lot of did you know slides, like did you know our large utility tote can hold up to 50 pounds, or whatever the case may be. And I did multiples of those, so then they would just kind of rotate through, and people would see them as the night went on. Another thing that I did was I had a table set up, and I had some of my products on that table, so when people came in, if they wanted to look at them, touch them, open them, you know, go into the bathroom, look at them on their shoulder to see if they liked the look of it, they could totally do that. The way that my house is situated, my living room and my dining room are separate from each other. So there, you can't really see from one into the other. I mean, you kind of can, but really they are separate. So I actually did a larger table in the living room, and then I did on my buffet behind me back here, I did a smaller display because I wanted to constantly keep 31 in their mind, constantly give them something new to look at and not overwhelm them at the same time. So essentially, those were kind of the things that I did to set up for the party. And then, of course, I had food. Everybody loves food. You can do whatever you want, or whatever your hostess wants to have. You can do a full dinner. You could just do cookies and milk. You could do coffee. Whatever you want to do is totally fine. You can have a theme associated with it. I know some people have done like Taco Tuesday 31 or a cookie exchange or something like that, so you can definitely have a theme. But the reason I also brought up the food is I want to show you something else that I used during the party, and that was this, which is this little picture frame, and I actually had it sitting on the counter where all of the food was, so every time somebody went by and they were getting a handful of chips or whatever, they had to look at this picture. And essentially what it says is, pick one of these 5 hot dates for your own 31 party and pick a prize. So I have all of these Hollywood stars here, and they have dates associated with them. So this was from the spring that I did this. So I've got March 12th, February 22nd, so on and so forth. So if somebody did choose to pick one of these dates, they would get a free prize from me for doing that. Because again, we want to be booking parties at our party or our hostess's party, because that's how we're going to continue to get sales and build our business. So again, that was a nice subtle way of showing that. Okay? All right. So after everybody has come in, they've kind of gotten their food and whatnot, I divided everybody up into 2 different teams. You can do this any way that you want, but because again of the way my house is situated, I didn't have enough room for everybody to sit at one table, so I had to do 2 different tables, which worked perfectly because while they ate, we had an icebreaker game. So this is a really nice thing to do when you have a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds or all over the place and they don't know each other. Instead of making it awkward where they have to sit next to somebody that they don't know and be like, so what's your name? How many kids do you have? And like come up with all of those questions. It's really nice to have an icebreaker game so that they feel at ease, they feel like they have something to do, and it's not that awkward science. So essentially what we played was the game, Have You Ever? If you've never played this game, it's like a series of questions, like 20 questions, and it's like, have you ever milked a cow? Have you ever been skydiving? Whatever the case may be. And you give 1 sheet of paper to each team, and you have a team leader, and essentially what they do is they ask everybody the same question, and they go through, and whoever has done that specific item, whatever it may be, they get a point. Sorry, Curtis is back here doing a funny dance. Anyways, you're live, Curtis. So anyway, so you get 1 point per person who answers that question correctly. And whatever team obviously has the most points at the end, they win. And one of the last questions I had was like a bonus question, like tell me your craziest story that one of your team members had, and then you would get a bonus point. And there were some pretty crazy stories. So again, it was an icebreaker game while people were eating. They had something to talk about. There wasn't that awkward science, and they could potentially win something. So after everybody has eaten, I called everybody into the living room, so we were all together at that point, and we found out which team had the most points and heard those crazy stories that we talked about. And whichever team won, every single one of those people got one of these, which are tickets. And I gave them 1/2, and I put the other half into a little carry-all caddy for later. And essentially, they were being entered to win a prize, which was really fun. So everybody was really excited about that. So again, winning team member got one of these, and then we heard those crazy stories, and then we moved on. And the next thing that we moved on to was what I'm going to call the party presentation. So I gave everybody one of these. This polka dot thing in the back is a lap board. You can buy them in your business, in the business supply section in TOT. Not necessary at all, but I had some, so I definitely used them. But I did give them 3 things in this little packet. I gave them a catalog, a full-size catalog, a blank sheet of paper, and this little sheet of paper here that says enter my drawing. And we're going to go over that at the end. The blank sheet of paper was being used for them to write down their wish list. So anytime they saw something that they really liked, they wrote it down. And then that way at the end, it wouldn't be so hard to go back and find it again. So I had everybody take out their catalogs, and I said during the presentation we are going to be playing a game called the scavenger hunt, the catalog scavenger hunt. And essentially the way that this game works is I'm going to call out an item that is in the catalog. It's not necessarily a product, it may just be a random item in there. And your job is to tell me what page number that item is on. So, for example, you'll see on this page right here is a silver thermos. So I would say, okay, I need somebody to tell me what page the silver thermos is on. And whoever gets the page number first, they win that round. So if they told me, if whoever yelled out the number 32 first, that person won that round and they got a ticket towards the door prize. So after one person had called that out, we would all turn to the exact same page and I would basically tell them about these products. So I would say something like this. So I wanted to bring your attention to this page because this is our for him and her page. And we both know that men and women are different. We all have different styles. Most men prefer more plain items, and most women prefer more brightly colored items. And of course, as with everything in life, everything doesn't come in the same colors and patterns, and so you can mix and match those, as you can see. So if you're looking for a fun collection for yourself or your significant other, maybe you're going on a vacation, maybe you're going on your honeymoon, something of that nature, let me know. Write those items down on your little piece of paper that I gave you, and we can go over them at the end. So I would say something like that. Again, you can do whatever you want, but there is an official game, so you don't have to come up with the items on your own unless you absolutely want to. But we do have, let's see here, the fall scavenger hunt game. And as you can see here, here's a list of the items, and here is a list of those page numbers. So you would keep this particular list right here. You would not hand it out. You would say those items and then have them tell you what page number they were on. Okay, so that is kind of how that worked. Now, if I happen to have some of those products that were on that page, so if I happen to have maybe the duffel bag, and I also had the hanging traveler case, I may highlight those two things because, again, we were kind of talking about travel things on that page. If I have them, I'd have them on a table or next to me on the floor, and I would show them and then pass them around so people can feel them, touch them, look inside of all the different pockets, so on and so forth. So that is kind of how that game works. If you did not like that game, no problem at all. We do have some other games. And let me pull that up for you right now so I can show you where some of those are. So on TOT, which is where I'm at right now, I came up here to the search bar, which is where this little magnifying glass is. I put in party games, and it brought me to this page where it says party games. And then I clicked party games, and it brought me to this, which is a list of all of the different games that you can play at different parties, like the All Wrapped Up game. If we can get some others of them to show. Here we go, the Left or Right game, so on and so forth. So if you didn't like the one I talked about, you can definitely look into these as well. Okay, all right, so after that was all said and done and everybody had gotten all their tickets for each of those different things, the presentation was kind of over. But I did tell everybody, you know, I know that maybe not everybody got a ticket, maybe not everybody got the amount of tickets that they wanted, so I'm going to give you all an opportunity now to earn another ticket. And the way you earn that ticket is by taking out this little sheet of paper that I gave you at the beginning that says enter my drawing. If you fill this out and you hand it back to me, I will give you a ticket into the door prize drawing. Most people, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had somebody not hand me back one of these because everybody wants a ticket. And the great thing about this is it has a lot of information on it. Now, this is one that I created for myself. However, I believe our door prize pad. Say that 10 times fast. Anyways, in Business Supply is very similar to this. However, you can also make your own. It obviously has them fill out the necessary information like their name, phone number, address, email address. But then it also asks them some important questions like, are you interested in joining my 31 VIP group on Facebook? And they would check yes, no, or maybe. Hosting a home show and earning free and half-price items. Yes, no, maybe. Not inviting anyone over, but a Facebook or catalog party to receive free items for myself. Yes, no, or maybe. And then info on becoming a 31 consultant. Again, yes, no, maybe. That gives you an idea of things that they are interested in, and it helps you during our checkout process, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. So at this point, you have two different options. You can either have everybody hold on to these, or you can collect them all, give everybody their tickets, and then draw for the door prize. At this point, this kind of is is dependent upon your guests. If some of them really need to go, like they need to leave like that second, maybe you want to do the door prize, collect all of these and do the door prize right away. But if people are not like itching to get out the door, what I suggest you do is say, fill these out, start looking through the catalog. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to this table or desk or whatever, and I'm going to have my laptop set up. I'm going to have my catalog sitting there, and when you are ready, you bring this sheet of paper and your wish list over to me, and I will help you check out. So essentially, you'll go on your website, you'll go on to TOT, however you're going to check them out, and you'll do a full service checkout. You'll help them choose their items, pick the colors out, you'll show them the different personalization options, so on and so forth. So again, you would collect this from them, give them their ticket, and then after everybody has talked to you, you've collected all of your orders or whatnot, then you would go ahead and draw the door prize. So essentially, that's a really great way of hosting a home party. Of course, if I were you, I would also have a few of the customer specials sitting there on the table with you. So when you're working through everything and somebody has a $35 order, you can be like, are you interested in one of the customer specials? And when they go, well, what is the customer special? You can be like, well, here, I have it right here. You can take a look at it and decide which one you like the best. So that's a really good way of doing it. Again, if you don't have those customer specials, but you have like the customer special flyer for that month, you can have that sitting next to you so that, again, you can point those out, show those to people. Of course, they're online as well, but sometimes people like to see pictures of them being in use so they have an idea of which one they would rather have. So, of course, if you were doing it that way, at the end, you would go ahead and draw for that door prize. It does not have to be a 31 prize. It can be something that you picked up from the dollar spot at Target or whatever the case may be. If you want to give away a 31 prize, totally fine. You can do whatever you want. I've seen people do free shipping. I've seen people do personalization, $5 off an order, whatever the case may be. You can totally do that. And then thank everybody so much for coming. Remind them to let you know if they were interested in doing one of these dates and getting a prize. I would also recommend doing that at checkout. So if you were going to use a picture like this, have this sitting at checkout too so you can talk to them about it. And during that checkout time, also talk to them a little bit about the opportunity again. During that scavenger hunt that I talked about earlier, it should bring you to the hostess page and the opportunity page. So talk to them about this being the best deal in the entire catalog. All of this for $99 plus business supplies, and then also talk about all of the different rewards they can receive by hosting a party. So definitely opportunities there to continue to grow your business. So again, I hope that this was really helpful to you. Hopefully this helped you feel a little bit more comfortable about doing a home party. If you have any questions about them, maybe I didn't go over something specifically, please let me know. I would love to help you in any way I can. So thanks for taking the time to watch the video, girls, and I will see you later. Bye.